everybody from Studio A5. How are you doing today, Tracy?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm back to spilling coffee. I'm
No
on
more
number.
coffee spilling. No more.
I know it's just a thing that I do because I cleaned the table, I refinished it, and so now I'm going to be spilling coffee on it. It's going to be
Well,
wonderful.
if that's the worst that happens, then that's all right.
That won't be too bad, right?
Right.
So the connection is coming to you live from Studio A5 here in Expansive, and as small business owners, we have the opportunity to support each other in our journey. There are so many challenges that we face, and this is a wonderful opportunity to help each other grow and flourish in this dynamic market.
And it's great to spend time with all of you this morning, this nice Tuesday morning. Is it still hot there?
It is still hot.
Yeah, it's pretty hot here too. But we did have a bunch of rain move through last night, which lowered it so we could sleep, but it's pretty hot. The Connect Show is here to help you find your inner power and share the message with the world. If you would like us to cover a specific topic, please email us at theideas@theconnectshow.com.
And the Connect Show is brought to you by the Scoot Over. There we go. By Connect Media Live. And Connect Media Live is in-your-face marketing for bold brands that want to stand out.
And we'd also like to thank our sponsor, Expansive, which is also the backdrop that I'm using today is the Expansive Lobby. It has locations throughout the country and is a wonderful place to work and a great community to be part of. And who do we have on the show today, John?
Today we have Renee Jacques, and she is Hypnosis, and we're going to talk about how that works, and we're also going to talk to William Zenobia about gut health and how, listening to your gut is so important.
So to get the conversation started, gut health. I don't even know how to say that word, kombucha or kombucha. Which way?
It's kombucha.
Kombucha. Or probiotic regularly. How do you take care of your gut, John?
So the kombucha and probiotic, I think, is really important, and I do that regularly, but not enough. Like there's that little berry drink that you get at the Fresh Time with the probiotics in it. Somebody probably knows what that's called.
Have you ever had kombucha?
Yes, I have kombucha regularly because I think having anything fermented like that is good for your stomach. From what I've been told, like sauerkraut, kombucha, sauerkraut.
I love sauerkraut. When I was growing up, my grandma would make these sauerkraut ball things with sausage and sauerkraut and rice. Oh, that makes me just want to go make some right now. They're so good.
Are you German by chance?
I'm a little German.
Yeah.
I'm like quarter German, yeah. That's probably why I get a little stubborn sometimes.
I've noticed.
But I eat yogurt every day without fail. So that's and you have to make sure with yogurt because some yogurts don't have the probiotics in there. And if you're not paying attention, you're going to be eating yogurt and they don't have anything in there that I've noticed. I can't hear you. All of a sudden, I hear no voice. Mm-hmm. Still no voice.
Okay, my voice should be coming back now because I have talked into the communicator. Does it work?
Yes.
Scotty, up. So this could be fun. And by fun, I mean not fun at all or great.
Don't let it slide down your shirt.
That would be make for interesting TV, wouldn't it?
How come it doesn't have a string on it?
So why don't you take over for a minute and talk about some stuff. Talk amongst yourselves. Give it a bit, and I'll be back. We'll see if we can figure this out. Okay.
All right. Well, I'll tell everybody about how the Connect Show is a volunteer show. And every week we get together or not every week, but every 2 weeks we get together for a volunteer meeting. We have grown to about 15 volunteers. One of the main things that we ask volunteers do is to help spread the word about the show. And if you're interested in being a volunteer on the show, we are looking for some specific roles. So if you can contact us at info@theconnectshow.com. Also, we are having another picnic, which is pretty exciting. We're going to have that on August 9th from 11 to 1. We're going to have our show first from 10 to 11, and then we're going to do the picnic right here at Expansive. Jon is going to smoke some butt again, I heard yesterday. So that's pretty exciting because that's my favorite food ever. Ever since he made it the first time, I have to have it. Like, it's so good. And I don't think it has any probiotics in it, but it's still pretty good. And yeah, so we're pretty excited about that. And I don't know, Kim, do you do any kombucha or gut health stuff? Kim, are you there? I'm here all by myself. So I'm going to have a conversation about myself. Let's see, what else can I talk about? Well, I can tell you about this new event that we're having called the Show and Tell event with Small Business Milwaukee. We've had 2 really good events so far, and that's where you come in and you bring an ask. It's held every, I think it's second and fourth Thursday at 10 a.m. Central, and it's on Zoom. And you bring in an ask, whether it be leave a review on my LinkedIn page or leave a review on my Google page, or like this post or share this post, or can you just look at my website and give me some pointers? Does it seem user friendly? Some sort of digital ask. And if you can bring that ask during that hour, we will go ahead and do that ask for you. So the last 2 events, each event, I gained 3 new LinkedIn reviews from each event, which was great. And a couple of Google reviews, actually. So if you're interested in more exposure to some of your social media or your website or getting some more reviews, I encourage you to come to that event. And that's every second and fourth Thursday. And go to smallbizmke.com. Perfect timing. I was running out of things to talk about.
Well, so how's it sounding? Is it too quiet, too loud? We have, like, on the fly, we have a new audio system. So how's it? Give us some feedback.
It's a little crackly, but it's okay.
Okay.
It's almost like when you move a little bit, it's a little crackly, but otherwise it's good.
Okay.
So no moving.
No moving. That sounds like a fantastic idea.
I was trying to ask Kim if she does kombucha or any kind of gut health stuff. Can she pop in and give us that answer?
Yeah. Let her rip. Oh,
There she is.
Yeah.
I can't hear her.
Oh no.
And it's really crackly.
Oh my. So all the problems are not with Restream today. They're all with this wonderful studio that we're in today. That's just kind of acting fun.
Okay, so you can hear Kim. Tell us what Kim's saying.
Kim, do you have any kombucha? Once. So why don't you turn your wireless off and see if that. So on the side, there's that button. No one could hear you.
No,
they can't hear you. Mm-hmm. So that's wonderful.
So lots of crackling and
yeah. I think this would be a good time for you to introduce Renee, and maybe you and Renee can do the first interview.
Sounds
and
great.
then we'll come back to.
By the way, the crackling stopped.
Okay, why that's fantastic, which
It
is a
just
great
stopped.
plug for my new show, Why That's Fantastic Monday, which is Monday mornings at 8 a.m. And it's what's great about the world. And
Is this for real? Are you for real having a show at 8 a.m. on Mondays?
Yeah.
Called What's That Fantastic?
Why That's Fantastic. WTF Monday.
Oh, when does that start?
Monday.
Oh,
yeah.
Is it just you on the show?
Yeah, it's just going to be 10 minutes long, and it's just going to be wonderful things that have happened. Maybe a small interview with somebody who's done something fantastic this week, and just sharing good news so you can start off your week on a happy and good note.
I love it. That's exciting.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
It's fantastic. That's so fantastic.
Go.
That is your favorite word, fantastic. I have to give you that.
Why that's fantastic.
Oh, Lord.
So we had a really complicated, difficult broadcast, and one of the guys came in and said, I hope we don't have any WTF moments, because he's like super religious and he doesn't swear, which is totally cool. And I said, we're going to have a bunch, and they're going to be why that's fantastic moments. Boom. And he said, you're a nerd. Let's move on. So that was great. I would love to do a marketing moment, but with this microphone thing, I think we're going to do a introduction to Renee, and then do a interview with Renee, and then come back to the marketing moment. Sound like a plan?
Right. Sounds good.
Okay. Okay, so on her quest to find better health and healing, Renee started using and then training alternative health and holistic modalities.
She found hypnosis work to be the most profound after using the tools and techniques to shift her own inner beliefs, and now offers a variety of these techniques to assist others in their own transformation. Welcome to the show, Renee.
Good morning. Thank you. Thanks for having me. So it's interesting talking about the gut health. That's how this all started for me.
Oh, wow. We didn't know. Elaborate.
I got really sick. I did not have good gut health.
Oh.
And so I started working with a nutritionist and my doctors, right? And I was kind of addicted to sugar. And so I needed to change my eating habits, right? And one of the ways in which I did that was also through hypnosis. So visualizing, right? Seeing myself eating the healthier foods, seeing myself feeling more vibrant and healthy. So when I could visualize the new me, it also helped me then shift and reminded me, oh, choose wisely.
Right, right.
And that's where it just started. And that's where it really all started for me. It's kind of funny. You were talking about gut health before. So here we are.
Did you have to go somewhere to learn about the hypnosis, or did you teach yourself, or how did that whole journey start?
Well, I was working with someone else who was a hypnosis practitioner, hypnotherapist. And then because that was what really helped me start to shift inward, you know, my beliefs and the thoughts around what does it mean to be healthy, focusing on making sure I make the right choices, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then from there I started studying it myself and went to formal training, and here I am.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So what is okay, so when I think of hypnosis, I think about the pendulum swinging in front of your face, and people making you go to sleep, and they have to say things that you didn't even know is in your brain. So is that really how it works? Like you see in the movies?
No, of course not. Of course not. No. So it's just a state of focus, and we are in and out of a trance state several times throughout our day. Every time we daydream, right? And you're sitting at the stoplight waiting, and you start thinking, oh, and it's a green light. I gotta go. You were already in a trance state. So you're
I've missed exits
hypnotic
doing that.
What's that?
I've missed exits on the freeway doing that.
Right.
Like, oh
When
man,
you're
I
just
missed
in that
it.
state of focus.
And that's scary because you're driving. And why can you should not be in that state of mind while you're driving.
Right. Yeah.
But it puts me in a hypnotic thing sometimes.
Yes. Yes. So anytime
Jon,
you're reading a book, daydreaming, watching a movie, you're in a focused state, also called a trance state, similar to hypnosis. It's really
so when you have a client or a person that you're working with, what can they expect when they come to see you for that experience?
So we talk a little bit about what it is they want to work on, what the change or the goals are for them. And then we discuss what they've done to help themselves so far. And then we do a little bit of storytelling and getting them in a relaxed state. And then I bring in, there's different tools and techniques in hypnosis work. So again, depending on the focus of the session, if it's a shorter session or a longer session, and then we start doing this hypnosis work again around the goals or the change that they seek.
That's awesome. I love that you put it that. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
What's the question?
Put that caption back up, but I have one more question also.
I get road hypnosis all the time. Yes, right?
Road hypnosis, yeah.
Very good.
So when you're in hypnosis, I understand a little bit about like the alpha and theta state. Like, where are you on that scale? And can you explain a little bit about those different states?
Well, it's beta. So beta is wide awake. Every day we're talking, our brain waves, we're connecting, right? Alpha is more of a relaxed state. And that is, we kind of go more into the alpha state in the hypnotic work. Anytime, again, you're daydreaming, you're slowing down the brainwave is what you're doing, because you're focusing on one thing, a thought, a movie, a book. You're focused, right? Even on the road driving, you're focused on some thought. So beta, alpha, theta, delta. Delta is sleep. Your brain is just shut and you're sleeping. We're not doing that in hypnosis work. That is not the goal. So relaxed state so that you can focus on and work with the practitioner on the changes that you are seeking. So, yeah.
So we kind of got off the questions a lot. I have no idea where we are, but let's try this one.
Sure.
I was on the questions.
Keep them coming. They're good.
Yeah.
I went rogue, which is normal for me. It's kind of a little joke around here.
Yeah. Rogue is good. We can work.
So when you're in hypnosis, I think something that I've heard is like, I don't want to have my brain reprogrammed or someone, getting into my brain or something like that, but it's not really like that at all.
Well, everything is a program, right? We're programmed by our schools, by our government, by our religion, by our work environments. Everything's a program. So our subconscious is kind of like the hard drive on the computer, right? And then you have to put in the programs that help run the computer so you can use the computer. That's kind of how the first 7 years of our life is. As a child, our critical thinking skills haven't quite kicked in. So you're just on record. And whatever we're learning, right? We repeat. And that's how the subconscious learns, through the repetition, which is how the hypnosis works, through the repetition, the visualizations, right? Now I forgot your question.
Oh, I was just talking about like the programming, and is it safe?
Program.
Yeah, to have you come in and start, reprogramming our brain, or how does that work?
And so when we're doing the work, depending on the goal, so for example, someone who comes in for weight loss, we will go through what is their diet, what is it that they're willing to change, And then it's an Ericksonian type of hypnosis is where we incorporate stories and visualizations for the client. So then we visualize seeing themselves eating healthier, making the choices, how they feel when they sit down to eat. They take that bite of nutritious food and they just feel so good, right? It tastes so good. So your mind is yes, programmable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every time you ever been in the grocery store and there's a song playing in the background and next thing you know you're singing the song and you're like, this is a stupid song. Why am I singing this song? It's how the subliminal messages are delivered.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing you know, you're repeating them.
Because you have like part of your brain is the conscious part, and then part of it is the subconscious part where all that stuff is programmed and you just automatically do it.
The subconscious is just on record.
But you can, if you worked your way down enough, you can change some of those subconscious things.
Correct. And that's the goal in hypnosis work, is to shift some of those subconscious beliefs. So it's pretty powerful stuff.
Yeah,
it is. And I think a big thing about programming is, when we talk about hypnotherapy and how helpful it can be, our society, I think, is negatively programming us by repeating the same negative messages over and over. And so if that's all that people listen to or all that you're exposed to, that's your view of the world, and it becomes the cause of many problems. So if you can change that narrative and say, hey, I'm going to put good things into my brain, good programming, then your reality is going to turn out different.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's what's so nice about this work.
Yeah, you really do have to challenge everything that you're doing or thinking, or like your stuff that you're already repeating every day. And where did you pick that up from? Did you pick it up from your childhood, your parents, society, and think, is this really what I want for myself, or do I want something else? And I think a lot of people just think, oh, this is just who I am. This is what I do, and don't challenge it ever.
Correct. But keep in mind too that, you are in control, so you can accept or reject, the new changes, the new beliefs, right? A lot of people will come in and say, make me quit smoking. I need you to make me lose weight. I don't make you do anything. You are in total control. It is all subjective, right? So as I like to say, I plant the seed and then you cultivate it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that's a great analogy to let people know that, this work that you do, as well as any type of self-help or trying to make a change, it comes from within, and you have to have that desire and that must happen in order for that change to take place. So when you do hypnotherapy, what does that look like? Is it going to be a 1 hour session and you're cured? Is it different for everybody? What's the average? I don't know. Give us a ballpark here.
It is different for everybody. Again, it's what are you willing to change yourself? I'm using these tools to help plant new seeds, and then we do the work. I mean, it's not a one and done kind of thing. It can be for some people, especially smokers. If you have the desire, the rest of it's possible, and anything will happen. So it's believing, right? So some people come in for more than one session, just a few sessions to get that internal shift and change those beliefs. It's pretty powerful stuff.
I might have to give that a go sometime.
Different for everybody.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think the only thing that's holding anybody back from their great success, whatever they want to achieve, I mean, sort of like if you're, a little bit past 25 like myself and a little bit under 6 feet like myself, I'm never going to make it in the NBA. So that's not possible. But anything else in
Correct.
the world really is. Like if I want to travel the world, if I want to be a millionaire, if I want to do this or that, I can achieve all those. The only thing that's holding me back is my programming. And that's where you can come in and
Yes.
help us with that, break through that, and achieve any goal that we could really feel possible, short of being in the NBA.
Correct.
Yep. You can't make us taller, faster, or slam dunk, which is
No.
not possible in hypnosis.
No. No.
So Renee, we do have a page on our website with your information on there, your bio and contact information and your LinkedIn and stuff. But do you have anything that you want to offer our guests today? Sometimes people offer a free session or any offer to an event or anything you have coming up or anything like that.
I like to offer a 2-for-1 because, again, sometimes people come in and they think, oh, I'm going to change right away in one session. Not always possible. So new clients, especially for this show, what I'll do is offer that 2-for-1. I'll give you one session and then the second one is free.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And they can reach out to you on your, well, they can contact you through the website and
PureSourceHypnosis.com.
just say that they saw you on the Connect Show.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Where did
Keep
John
up that
go?
kombucha.
I know. I'm going to try some of that kombucha.
Yes.
I have never tried it. I think we're off to the marketing moment, right, Kim?
We're getting there. We're trying. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. I can see you.
Yes. That's fabulous. I love it, love it, love it. Today, we're going to have a little marketing moment about social media. And one thing about social media that has changed a little bit of marketing is everybody expects an answer right now, right? So whether it's via messaging, a comment on your social channel, a Google review, whatever it is, they expect nearly an instant response. If a request is going to take a little bit to get to, respond as soon as you can, saying, hey, I'm researching this issue, this problem, this question, and can you give me an email, a phone number, something to contact you back with, so that they know that you're looking into it and not that you're just ignoring their question. And in your response, if it's not immediate, ask them, like I said, for the best way to contact them. So they might want to be texted. They might want an email. They might want something in writing. They might say, just comment my answer back here. But often I like to take it back to a one-on-one communication directly with your customer, if possible. Keep your social responses positive. We talk about this with reviews. If a customer is having a negative response or interaction, if you have your response positive and you say, I'd love to talk to this, I'm sorry that this happened, let's talk about this via the phone, whatever their preferred communication resource is, talk to them that way, but keep your response that's visible to the public as positive as possible. If it's negative, no matter what, you want to be as positive as possible. You don't want to fire back and forth with that customer. And if you don't have time to respond via social, you may want to consider having an employee do it, hiring someone to do it, but make sure that those responses are timely. And that's what I have for today's marketing moment. Are we good, Mr. Taylor?
Hello, hello. I'm back again, all by myself, waiting for Mr. John to come back, if he ever does. But I think we're moving on to our next guest. So I am going to start to introduce him. Our next guest is William Zenobia. Has been working in the area of health for the past 25 years. He has been a bodybuilder and took a more active role in educating people on the health and wellness 13 years ago, shortly after marrying his wife, Martina.
Hi, y'all. Can you hear me?
We can. Thank you so much.
All right.
Welcome,
Got all
William,
the
to the
bugs
show.
out early. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I think
I'm
we're
proud of
bug
you
free
both
now.
because you guys had you all got my name right. So I'm like super happy and proud of both of you for actually pronouncing my last name correctly.
It's
Well,
a
I'm in
year of
practice.
practice. Yes. We've been practicing for a year on how to get people's names right. That's our one goal in life. So I'm glad that we crushed it today. So the past couple of years have been interesting. They've been dynamic. We've been all over the place with all these things happening. It's been kind of scary. And with these new things coming into the world that can hurt us and harm us, is it possible to rebuild our immune system moving
Yeah.
forward and future-proof ourselves?
Well, I don't know if we can future-proof ourselves, but I can tell you that it is possible always to work on your immune system and make it better. That is always a possibility, and that is always something that you can do. When I sit with clients, one of the first things we start to address, since we're talking about gut health, is gut health and the microbiome that you have inside. It's been shown that 80% and probably even more of your entire and overall immune system is related to your gut health. So yeah, it's a big deal.
Gut health, I hear, is like really becoming a big topic.
It is becoming a big topic. I mean, for those of us who have been around it for a really long time, we've known about it. It just seems like the unfortunate thing about something like gut health is it's suddenly become trendy to know about your gut. You know what I mean? Where for all of history, everybody's had one.
Yeah.
You know, the knowledge has been out there, but now suddenly it's a trendy thing. So now people are starting to pay attention. They're saying, oh, wait, maybe my gut does have something to do with the way I feel and the energy I have, and this is going on and that's going on. So yeah, it's a big topic and affects a lot of your overall health and how you feel.
And I think for most people, they don't even pay attention to it until all of a sudden there's an issue going on in their stomach or their health, and then all of a sudden, oh, it's related to what I'm eating.
Right. You know what? That's a great point, because overall what I have found is that most people don't pay attention to their health at all until there's a problem. And then you're climbing uphill to try and fix it.
Well, and then on top of that, there's so many like, oh, eat eggs, don't eat eggs, eat this, don't eat this. And like nobody even knows what to do, what's right or wrong or anything. So really it's like, I'm just going to eat what I want and we'll see what happens.
Well, and that's a good point, because you're right, because I drink two things a lot of. I drink a lot of coffee and I drink double amounts of water throughout my day. Those are my two vices, water and coffee. And coffee's good today, bad tomorrow, and that's kind of how they throw it out there, right? Oh, you can't do this and can't do that. So what I try and tell people to do is start to pay attention to how you feel. If you eat the same, if you love pizza, but every time you eat pizza, you're just constantly sluggish and you feel sick, or it makes you bloated and gassy, whatever it is, then maybe pizza's not your thing, but you really kind of have to become in tune to what is happening with your body and pay attention. That is something that I learned through bodybuilding, is just to really have a good sense of what is happening with my body at all times. I mean, I know we're not here to talk about dehydration, but that's a huge one. A lot of times just what's going on with somebody throughout the day and how they feel could simply be the fact that they're dehydrated and they don't recognize that that's the issue. So.
And I found that sleep is, when I look at my sleep patterns, I had a lot of sleeping problems. And so I was like, I got to buy a new mattress and I got to buy a new pillow and I got to buy new sheets. And, you spend all that money on all the, the breathable, cooling, all this stuff. But really, it comes down to eating healthy, eating smaller meals more. I learned a long time ago from a nutritionist for the stars. He said, if you want to be healthy and lose weight, eat 5-6 meals a day, make them very small, and never get full. And your body will never have to work hard, and then you'll never have any of those weight problems. And don't drink soda.
That is a great point, John, and something that, again, when working with clients and people, I have a meal plan. I don't like the term diet, because most people think of diets as, once I have a diet and then I reach my goal, I'm dead, or I'm not dead, I'm done. So you really have to look at eating as a lifestyle and how you're going to do it. And I always recommend to people to split their meals up into 5 or 6 meals throughout the day, because like you say, you can avoid the gorging aspect of wanting to eat everything all the time. And it certainly balances you and allows your body to absorb more nutrition if you can break it up over time.
So like
And
on
how-
Thanksgiving, we should have like 4 Thanksgiving meals a day instead of the one big one.
Absolutely. I think everybody should start Thanksgiving right after they shop at 2 a.m. and then eat until like 10 p.m. And then you can try everything you want during Thanksgiving. That's a great, you know what? That's your next marketing tip right there. You've got a couple of months to get it all prepped. That's your next marketing tip right there. 100%.
It sounds like a winner. I love it. So how does your, can you touch on how your brain works when you're full and you're, eating heavy meals, 3 heavy meals a day, and when your body's efficient? Is there a relationship there that you know of?
You know what? I would say there is, because so like you don't drink soda, right? You said you try and avoid soda. So what happens when you consume food, depending on what you're consuming and how your body is digesting it and the health of your gut system, your intestines, all that good stuff, you can absolutely create your ability to focus, your ability to sleep, like you mentioned, that sluggishness that we get, after you eat. Some people eat and then an hour and a half later they're really sluggish, they're tired. I mean, that's totally a glycemic thing, right? Doesn't mean you're diabetic, but it's a sugar thing that happens within our body, and all of that can really affect how we think and how we process things. So it definitely has an impact on your brain. I can't really get into like neurotransmission of your brain and in the foods that you eat, but I can tell you a lot of like artificial sweeteners and things you ought to avoid, because they definitely interrupt brain activity and can even cause some pretty serious diseases. So if you're going to drink soda, drink the real thing. Don't drink the diet. The diet's actually worse for you than the sugar, believe it or not.
On that point, drink the Mexican Coke, because it's real sugar, right?
Yeah,
a little more
the real sugar.
Yeah.
Are we going to Mexico after this? Is that what's going on? We're on our way to Mexico for some Mexican
I think I'm
soda?
having tacos tonight. I don't know. I'm just like hearing a lot about it. It's Tuesday. I don't know. We're having a party.
All right, party time.
There we go. And I
So-
think just being high performers, and I'm sorry to interrupt, Tracy. I apologize.
No, you're fine.
I think just being a high performer, being your best self, being in peak condition, it's, how you can eat and be efficient. Now, going into the cleansing or using things to balance, like in our question of the day, we talked about kombucha and probiotics. Like, is that a daily type of thing that we should be doing? Is that a weekly thing, or is it per person?
Well, okay, so I would put it this way. The 2 things that you should absolutely be doing is, so a lot of people talk to me about food. So I'm not here to say yay or nay to anything that anybody's doing, because I think anything positive you do to address your health is important, right? What I will tell you is that from what we know about food today and how many times it's processed, GMOs in a lot of our foods and stuff like that, you really can't get what your body requires just by eating food. So to me, it is very important to have a high quality probiotic to address what's going on, because good bacteria, your body runs on good and bad bacteria, right? Just like anything else. So to have that good bacteria in your system so that it helps with the digestive process and helps with the ability to allow your body to absorb nutrients when you eat is important. And I also think not a chemically formulated fiber, but one that is a daily fiber with psyllium husk that's soluble, insoluble, is also important, because a lot of times people don't think about fiber until, they're constipated or something. They're like, oh, I ought to go and get myself some Miralax or something like that. But Also, to me, daily, I do both daily. I am a daily probiotic guy, and I am a daily fiber guy, and I am not 95, and I still do it. So there you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Keep it moving, and that's how you keep healthy, right?
Yes, 100%.
Yes. Yep.
So you mentioned that cancer could be linked to your gut health. Can you talk a little
Yes.
bit more about that?
Yeah, 100%. And I have at williamzenobia.com, which is my website under health, I've got a little bit more detailed information on gut health and the microbiome and all that kind of stuff. But I also have posted a link in there. It's basically an article that says that they are, and I'm going to say suggesting, okay, because we want to be politically correct here, but they're saying that 95% of cancer can be preventable and it is related to your gut health. The one thing that they still aren't sure on is something like brain cancer, which they're starting to maybe relate to heavy metals that get into our system. Maybe if you had fillings years ago and they put lead in there, but immunizations and stuff typically will have trace amounts of mercury and things like that in them as well. And so those eventually are extremely difficult for you to get out of your system. So those can contribute to something like brain cancer. But when you consider everything that actually happens within your gut system, and believe it or not, if your gut and your intestines are out of whack, then your internal system can become very toxic. So it is not surprising that cancer could be linked to your gut health at all, really. So it's a pretty interesting article. They kind of hit all the different cancers and just kind of hit a little bit of detail. So I've linked that up at williamzenobia.com and in my health area.
Good to know.
Great information. Yep.
So, do you provide any kind of counseling or sessions for people about their gut health, or how can people reach out to you for this information if they want to know more?
Absolutely. Well, it sounds like you guys are providing the ability for them to go right to your page if they want to do that. Otherwise, if people go to williamzenobia.com, they can just reach out. I will talk to them about their health and just kind of coach them. I mean, I am a full disclosure guy, so I do represent some products, which I want to make sure that's clear because there's no obligation, but I will just tell people what I do and what I recommend. And for a lot of people we've talked to, if they'll do some of the things we recommend, it just gives them a better quality of life. And that's the end goal anyway, right? Is just to have a better quality of life, no matter what state you're in, is just to enjoy life more.
Nice. Well, do you have anything you want to offer our guests today?
I do. Thanks for asking. This is good. Now you'll have to tell me how we do this, but what I do have, and it's probably about an $80 value, is I do have the probiotic that I use, the fiber that I use, and then actually what's called, we call it good zymes, but it is a digestive enzyme because that can also contribute a lot to gut health and digestive and being able to break down food and stuff like that. So those three products I can offer. You just have to explain to me how I do that. But yeah, I can offer those however you go about, whether you draw a name or whether you have people bid on, and I don't know how that works, but I would offer those three products to somebody.
Awesome.
I love that idea. Tracy, you know what I'd like to do is I would like to challenge you. Let's buy a set of his thing.
Mix,
Yep, all three of them, and do it for 30 days, and then come back, and then we'll do some measures like how do you feel your brain performances, your overall health, your feeling, and come back and do a follow-up for our 1-year anniversary show.
Ooh, which is
it's
in September, but that'll give us some time to observe the changes, and if there's any changes.
Yes,
it's a great idea. I'm all over that.
Wow, that's fun.
I think that would be an interesting thing, because I think it would be just demonstrating how being your best self. We're talking about being your best self this
right.
month. It starts from within.
Mhm.
Yeah, 100%. It really does.
Oh, I was going to mention earlier, and I totally forgot this question until now. But one quick last question. So, would you say that um, with all those things out there, like eat this, don't eat this, eat this, don't eat this, basically, really, you just have to pay attention to your own body, because I think it's different for everybody. Like, I can see people eating things that I cannot eat, and I'm just like,
Right.
why can't I eat that, but they can eat it? So that tells me that everybody's totally unique. And
It is 100%. What I will tell you briefly is this: I do follow a meal plan that kind of helps me avoid foods that create inflammation in the body. You know, so I avoid some of those. It's predominantly more of a higher protein. It's not a keto. There's no calorie counting, no weighing. You don't have to do anything like that. It's just eat off of this list, don't eat off of this list. But it allows for you also to be able to have those days if you're having a, you know, we had graduation parties. There's a lot of weddings this time of year. It also says, hey, when you're out somewhere, enjoy life. Just, it helps you to get back on track, right? So that it, you know, and so that's why it's useful. But yeah, just, you know, I'm not a spicy food guy. My desire isn't to go and eat a pepper so that, you know, I can't breathe and I start sweating profusely. That's just not my thing. So yeah, I say pay attention to your own body and you know, explore some foods. I think it's always fun to do that. But yeah, avoid what's not good, see how it reacts to your body, and you know, adjust your lifestyle likewise.
awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on today.
Yes,
Well, thank you for having me.
I'm looking
You're
forward to our
welcome. Appreciate it.
challenge, John.
I'm looking forward to the challenge. She's going to be like, oh boy, what are you getting me into this time? First the water, now this fiber thing. Oh my goodness.
Well, last week we all made some bread, so hey, we gotta try all these things people keep talking about. I think it's a great idea.
I had some bread this weekend. I dipped into the bucket, and it's pretty amazing. So Kim inspired all of us with her monkey bread.
Mhm.
And I have the traditional white bread bucket at home, and the cinnamon rolls and the monkey bread is going to be happening, which is not good for your gut health, like we just
But
talked.
he said on occasion, if you do the things regularly, the good things, you can splurge once in a while and just get back on track.
Well, I'm
Because
going to do it
really-
now. So then when I do the fiber and like all the stuff, it's like, hey, you know, I'm going to be cleaned out anyway, so why not? Let her rip. Okay. So the most exciting thing that I want to share is Expansive is giving away a 6-month free co-working membership to the Connect show. And that's to our audience and to our guests. So here's what co-working is all about at Expansive. You can see people when you go get coffee. You can hang out with people during lunch.
Look at
You
my
got
background.
coworkers. It's beautiful. And one of the nicest things is when you bring clients in, like if you look at behind Tracy, like I can't afford to build that cool of a place. I couldn't remodel a building to look like that. There's nothing that I could do to get there. And you can come in and start on day one and bring people into this elegant, beautiful space. And it just says a lot about you and your brand and what you're doing. And so it's really an amazing place. I work at a lot of co-working spaces. And this one is nice because of the sheer size of it. You can go into little pods, you can meet with people in private areas, and a lot of the other co-working spaces like Gen Pop, that center area, is like this tiny little place where everybody's like on top of each other and you have to hear everyone else's conversation. And that's cool, but sometimes you just want to chill and get some work done or have an important meeting. And with the sheer amount of space that's here, it's great. And then if you ever feel sad, you can go over to Whole Foods, stand in the smelly aisle, and just feel good about the world. And that's good.
That's what John does
I do.
during his lunch break.
It's one of my happiest places in the world is the smelly aisle. You don't know what the smelly aisle in Whole Foods is? Walk into Whole Foods and you'll find it. It's heaven. That if ever someone said, what does heaven smell like? The Whole Foods smelly aisle. I'm pretty sure. So I probably pissed somebody off with that one. But anywho,
I don't know why.
you just got to be careful. Anyways.
Well,
So that
I
was
think that is the most of our show today.
Oh, yeah. Next week we have it is most of our show, but next week is super important because next week we have, oops, that way.
Oh, good job. Sarah
Sarah
Deacon and Karen Willens, which are both going to talk to us about how to be your best self in more healthy ways, balance and nutrition.
It's going to be special.
Mhm.
So with that, we'll play the outro and be gone. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.